ICPC raids former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai's Abuja residence. Pengasen folds executive order on oil revenue. On the foreign scene, Tunisian lawmaker sentenced to 8 months in prison over post mocking President Kais Saied. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, INEC has inspected and received the sensitive electoral materials for the Saturday by-elections in Rivers State. The inspection took place at the CBN headquarters in Port Harcourt and was led by Professor Rhoda Gumus, National Commissioner supervising the South-South states, along with Professor Aboyemi Salimi, Lagos State INEC Resident Commissioner, and Chukwuemeka Ibeziako, Abia State INEC Commissioner. Party agents also participated in checking the materials. INEC's River State Electoral Commissioner, Professor Gabriel Yomere, briefed journalists and party agents on the importance of the exercise. Benjamin Omobula, IPAC Secretary in Rivers and Zenith Labour Party Chairman, expressed satisfaction with the inspection and urges INEC to ensure that the will of the people is respected in tomorrow's by-elections. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Police Command has announced a restriction of movement ahead of the by-election for Ahoda East State Constituency 2 and Kana State Constituency 2, scheduled for Saturday, February 21st. The restriction will take effect from 12 noon to 6 p.m. on election day and will apply within and around Ahoda East and Kana local government areas. According to a statement by the police spokesperson, Grace Iringikoko, the measure is aimed at ensuring a peaceful, free, fair, and credible election. The command says there will be a massive deployment of security personnel across the two local government areas and to prevent any breakdown of law and order and to protect lives and property before, during, and after the election. The statement says that security operatives will be stationed at strategic locations, polling units, and major roads to prevent violence, electoral malpractice, and other criminal activities that could disrupt the process. The police have advised residents to strictly comply with the movement restriction, avoid unnecessary gatherings around polling units, refrain from carrying weapons or suspicious items, and report any suspicious activities. Members of the public are also advised to conduct themselves peacefully and in line with electoral laws. The Commissioner of Police, Olubenga Deboju, warns that anyone who violates the restriction order or engages in activities capable of disturbing the peace will be arrested and prosecuted. While he also calls on political parties, candidates, and their supporters to shun violence and follow the provisions of the Electoral Act. We now turn to reactions to President Bola Tinubu's apology to Nigerians as stakeholders weigh in on its significance and potential impact. President Tinubu had appealed to Nigerians to forgive him if he has sinned against them, urging the citizens to embrace unity, peace, and moral renewal at the start of Ramadan. Reacting to his apology, a professor of politics and governance, Kenneth Weke, says the apology will not change how many Nigerians see the administration. Speaking with correspondent Makotoka, Professor Weke notes that Nigerians have experienced serious economic hardship under the current government.
Appeals for forgiveness, it will not influence anything in terms of public perception. The perception is already there. The hunger is written in capital letter on the faces of Nigerians, and so it does not need any other influence in terms of perception. And again, this statement, of course, suggests an acknowledgement of public dissatisfaction. The government in itself understands that or knows that it has failed Nigerians. That dissatisfaction does not need an interpreter because the hunger, the poor infrastructure, corruption, and all of those define the mood of the country.
Also speaking, a public affairs analyst in Ndamzi Ikulo describes the president's apology as a reflection of growing public dissatisfaction. He argues that Nigerians are tired of the administration and alleges that the move is aimed at eliciting public sympathy ahead of 2027 general elections.
The president have realized that his policies and programs have meted out so much economic hardship on the people, and the insecurity in the country is worse. Nothing is improving. There is no power anywhere. The people do not see electricity. So I think the president have realized that his policies are not working. So he wants to use apologies to emotionally plead on Nigerians.
Another public affairs analyst, Dr. Festus Oguche, is urging President Bola Tinubu to make sure his recent apology to Nigerians is reflected in economic policies that ease citizens' hardships. He says the apology must be supported by practical actions to tackle the country's economic challenges, restore public confidence, and show true commitment to Nigerians' well-being.
He demonstrates quite well that the fullness of the knowledge that his government has not been doing well at all. His policies have not been in the right state for the suffering masses. But it's not just making the apology alone. Will it be matched with expectant change in policy, change in governance, change in ideology? If he's very penitent about his wrongdoings, then he must move further towards the direction of a sustainable governance mechanism that elevates the poor and that creates safety and security for the people of this country. If he's making an apology and people are still dying in the hands of terrorists, how would you label that kind of apology?
Well, residents of Port Harcourt have also shared different reactions to the president's apology. Some told our correspondent Precious Hestes that the apology came too late, especially as many Nigerians are struggling with economic hardship. They say what people need now are clear actions and practical solutions, not just words. Others say they have accepted the apology and stress the importance of unity and support for the government to help move the country forward. They are also urging the federal government to match its words with policies that will reduce the burden on citizens. Moving on now, a community leader in Obiakpo local government area, Charles Wonokuru, is calling for stricter enforcement of the River State government's ban on motorcycle operations, particularly along the Choba and Obirikwere axis of the East-West Road. Recall that the state government, during the administration of former Governor Chibike Amechi, placed a ban on commercial motorcycle operation across Ilimi, Port Harcourt City, and Obiakpo local government areas. Wonokuru tells correspondent Nnamdi Wala that some community development committees are struggling to control criminal activities by motorcyclists because many riders are ignoring the motorcycle ban and breaking traffic rules.
We are handicapped because the police, they collect money from them instead of impounding their motorcycles. They have been causing a lot of trouble in the land. They use it to rob, they drive one way. It's not as if we've folded our hands. When we apprehend them, the relevant authorities that are supposed to prosecute them will free them to go. Security is everybody's business. Everybody in our various communities should be security conscious.
Well, some residents of Port Harcourt also raised concerns about motorcyclists, citing several accidents caused by their operations.
Since they born me, I never see Okada go turn U-turn. They dey always follow one way every time, and that thing no good. It dey cause many accidents. I go even lament them ban the Okada.
We see that bike is better for our movement, but since they have turned this thing to another thing, they drive without safety. They don't even care when talk to them, as in warning them. They will face you by quarreling you. One of my age mates, he was coming out from his place, bike hit him down. That is the end of him. So please, I think government should look into this matter. Those that has the authority to stop them, to stop moving, let them do it. Bring the condition of stopping them.
They should automatically wipe them off from Uniport Axis. I mean, they will carry students and they will bash them on the ground. This one way of a thing, they are actually carrying it on their head. They should ban them from major roads and Uniport Axis.
And now, a trailer carrying a container of goods have overturned at the Rumo Sea flyover, causing heavy traffic in the area. The incident happened Friday morning between 4 a.m. and 5 p.m. An eyewitness says the driver lost control while approaching the flyover. The eyewitness adds that the driver was reportedly being chased by police and may have lost control while trying to evade them.
This early morning, so as that truck they go, 9 police people come stop the truck. Then tell the truck now, make it open the container. So now the driver just say, he no go be open the container. Say they no give am license to open the container. So now the policeman now go to the drive steering. I think go the drive steering, the driver. Now the tire come climb there, now the motor come for. Now wetin you also be that.
However, other eyewitnesses who spoke with our correspondent said the tanker fell due to recklessness.
Flyover. So everybody know that it's not properly arranged. It's not supposed to be this way. It has been causing, at least we've recorded since last year to this almost 7 trucks that fell down exactly this spot and the other way. Right?
It's not about the flyover, it's over speeding. And the driver did not calculate well because this thing happened at night, you understand? You only on the drive, you only on the for road. So in the speed, before you go no send all this flyover, they can delete.
With what we are seeing in this flyover is not, the positioning of this flyover is not supposed to be like that. If you watch, when you get to that flyover, it's bent, it's not straight. And not all truck drivers can easily see that thing at night. I mean, that road is supposed to be straight. They went truck drivers, but they will just go straight and go their way. But now, some of them, when they're driving speed at night, they won't even see that bent this thing there.
Officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps are already on ground managing traffic and securing the scene. No death was recorded, but the driver sustained serious injuries and has been rushed to the hospital. Motorists are advised to use alternative routes as efforts continue to clear the road. Let's go on a quick break now. When we return, Pangasen folds executive order on oil revenue. Stay with us. In a tribute, Governor Fubara describes the late senator as a brother, a committed politician, and one of the prominent leaders in River State. He says Mpigi's death came at a time when his contributions were still greatly needed and prayed for God to grant him eternal rest. In a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Onwaka Nzeshi, the governor extended his condolences to the senator's family, the people of River Southeast, and members of the Senate. He urged them to take comfort in the fact that the late lawmaker lived a meaningful life and made a positive impact. Well, Senator Barinada Mpigi represented River Southeast in the 10th Senate. His death was confirmed by Akin Alabi, chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Works, in a tribute posted on his official X account on Thursday. Senator Mpigi died at the age of 64. Until his death, he served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Works. The circumstances surrounding his death are not yet known, as his family has not made an official statement. Moving on now. The River State House of Assembly has suspended the impeachment proceedings against River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu. The House suspended the process on Thursday during plenary shortly after the Assembly rose from a committee of the whole. Speaker of the Assembly, Martin Amikuli, informed the House that the withdrawal of the impeachment proceedings follows the intervention of President Bola Tinubu. He also informed the House that all court cases filed by the governor, his deputy, and the River State House of Assembly had been withdrawn. The lawmakers also expressed expectations that the governor and his deputy would henceforth act in line with the Constitution and not to violate it by their actions. Reacting to the Assembly's decision, constitutional lawyer Dr. Innocent Ekwu welcomed the suspension of the impeachment proceedings, describing it as a positive step toward restoring political stability in Rivers State. In an interview with correspondent Emeka Otoka, Dr. Ekwu urged that such actions should not be repeated, noting that the prolonged political crisis has hampered development in the state. He is now calling on all stakeholders to respect the rule of law and work together to maintain peace and stability in Rivers State.
Since the Rivers State House of Assembly has withdrawn all court cases, it is a good development, but it is important for them to know that Rivers people are very dissatisfied over the manner these 3 years of this tenure has gone, and all the actors in this game have joined hands to frustrate the people of Rivers State in terms of a dividend of democracy they ought to have. So what we will expect is that let there be no more affliction.
And now we move straight to business. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has criticized the executive order signed by President Bola Tinubu to boost gas production. The order, called the Upstream Petroleum Operations Cost Efficiency Incentives Order 2025, offers tax incentives to oil companies. However, Pengasen President Festus Osifo says the incentives will not reduce costs if insecurity in the sector is not tackled, adding that the president was wrongly advised. In entertainment now, Eric Dane, known for his role in Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria, has died at the age of 53, less than a year after announcing he had ALS, a form of motor neuron disease. He played Dr. Mark Sloan, also known as Dr. Mark Stimmy, in Grey's Anatomy, and later starred as Kyle Jacobs in HBO's Euphoria. After revealing his diagnosis in April 2025, the California-born actor spent his final months raising awareness and funds for ALS.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Tunisian court has sentenced lawmaker Ahmed Saidani to 8 months in prison for social media posts mocking President Kais Saied after recent deadly floods. Saidani was arrested earlier this month after describing the president as the supreme commander of sanitation and rainwater drainage during his visits to flood-affected areas. He was convicted of insulting others online under a telecommunications law that carries up to 2 years in prison. Human rights groups say the case reflects a wider crackdown on dissent since Said suspended parliament in 2021 and began ruling by decree.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All the news this afternoon you heard. INEC has inspected electoral materials ahead of Rivers State by-elections on Saturday as police imposes movement restriction in Ahoda East and Kana local government areas. We told you that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has mourned the death of Senator Barinada Mpigi. You heard that ICPC has raided former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai's Abuja residence. We also told you that Pengasen has faulted the executive order on oil revenue by President Tinubu. And on the foreign scene, Tunisian lawmaker has been sentenced to 8 months in prison over posts mocking President Kais Saied. The news was edited by Ifunanya Obeme Ndukwe. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.